is on. All right, guys. Good morning. Good morning. It's another wonderful. It's beginning to look a lot like Christmas. Yeah, it's gonna be awesome, man. It's a good time of year for some people. It's not such a good time of year, and my prayers up will go out to them. All right, and we're gonna go ahead and get our pencils out, guys. We're gonna do a little. Let me unplug this here. I don't need that. Let me make sure my phone has a lot of charge on it. I forgot to look at that before I started. Let me see, 31%. So I might need to go ahead and just plug you in there, buddy. All right, there we go. All right, so let me go over here, and we're going to start with some warm up exercises. So I don't know what I can warm up with today. I'll tell you what we're going to warm up with, right? This is what we're going to warm up with. We're going to go over here to my favorite place to get pictures and things to draw. Pinterest, yes. Pinterest is my friend. All right, and then we're going to start by not with faces actually. What we're going to do is we're going to start with random random uh, ob objects, uh ob random uh random objects to draw. And let's make them cartoon ones. So this way it could be a. All right, yeah, there we go. All right, so this right here, is what we need. If you look at this concept right here, this is kind of how you got to think about caricature. You got to think about it like like you taking a something and you're making something else out of it, right? So here we can see. I'm just gonna warm up here with a. Look like I got a. What is that? A milk a toaster head right there. All right, so we can see here that toaster head is kind of like this. This is just to get us warmed up, okay? And this is really going to improve the way you draw because it allows you to see things in dimension, right? Sometimes people think if they're not drawing a face, they're not they're not drawing something, and that's just not true, right? This is in essence, this is what you're doing when you draw a caricature. You're just taking little objects and you're trying to learn how to make something out of them, right? And these little exercises will translate into your work. Just trust me, it works. Okay, I've been drawing caricature a long time, and one of the things I was hard headed about was this. Oh man, you gotta get out of here. You serious? I'm not drawing that, right? And so I missed out on a lot of things that I could have learned, because of that. Over here, look at that. We got a little a mad cup over here, right? So you see how we made that face into a cup shape, right? So this is you want to take faces, right? The faces that you find online, right? You want to take them and you want to make stuff out of them, right? And we're just copying this guy here, just real quick. I'll put a little bit of my own spin on there. Right? Oh, that line doesn't go there. It goes behind that. You see, they like that little stuff like that. Learning how to draw in dimension. This is going to help you so much. Like here, I like the way he did just the bottom lip, right? So he really just did something like this here, left the top lip out really, and just kind of protruded it around a little bit, and then he just connected it. And you see, this takes all the intimidation out because you're not thinking that you're drawing a person. You're drawing a cup with a face on it, right? And that's what you have to look at when doing this particular type of artwork, right? Okay. And we'll just go down through here and just keep copying it right there. Let me see. There we go. See that? So that one came out real nice right there. That one came out real nice. All right. Hold what you got, guys. Okay. Okay. I just learned something right there too with that lip, that bottom lip shape. Even though I generally don't do like expressions like that, I try to just keep my. I'm a real. I try to keep everything general. That's just my particular style. But some caricatures, man, they be getting wild with it. This morning I was watching some other artists and their different styles, and I learned how to appreciate other artists without trying to become them. You know what I mean? That's really what this is. You know, taught me that I have to be okay with being me. You know what I mean? I can't try to be another artist. Like right here, I'm not trying to, you know, whatever he's doing. I'm just warming up with this, but I'm not trying to be. If it's not just like his, it doesn't matter, right? It doesn't. It just doesn't matter to me, straight up. All right. Yeah, you just gonna go ahead and do something. I can put my own nose on there if I want to, right? Okay. He turned a fire hydrant into into a person into a fire hydrant. That I had to say this is pretty darn creative right here. All right, he did that. All right, then you got this part right here. Okay. Mm, let me see here. At the bottom of it, let's go ahead and add this round piece here to the bottom with the little nuts and bolts on it. Right, something like this. Just real quick drawing, just real quick sketching, guys. That's all we're doing. Just get it together. If it don't look all the way right, don't worry about it. It's okay. Nobody's gonna be mad at you because you didn't do it just like this guy, right? You know what I'm saying? It's a little. Okay. I'm almost done warming up, guys. I just got to do this before I start drawing because I'm not I'm older, so I got to get myself warmed up. Sometimes I'll be seeing spots and dots and things like that, right? Yeah, my cataracts be acting up every now and then. Okay, all right. So that looks great right there. I think my little rendition was okay, not too bad, right? I'd like to see your rendition. That's awesome, man. Send some pictures on my way. You guys can send your artwork in right here. Send it to Rouser World on Facebook or go to my Instagram. You can share with me on Instagram. Hmm. Hey, thank you so much. I appreciate you. Who was that? That was Ben. Thank you, Ben. Appreciate you. Awesome, Ben. Thank you. And this is I really have so much fun when I do this type of stuff, man, because you it allows your mind to create things. Look at this down here. You got cell phone, right? You got cell phone with some the cell phone listening to music, right? Yeah. I wonder if I can pull that one off. Let me see. Let me use the back of this paper here. And where is my pencil? Oh, here it is. Yeah, my pencil sharpener here. Okay, man, the world's quiet over there on YouTube this morning. We'll see what's happening over there. You guys still sleep over there on YouTube, right? All right, let's see if we can draw this thing here. So, let's what be a dip. When we draw it, right? And we're going to apply a lot of these concepts to when we get into caricature. But when we draw in it, you see the major shape of the idea is this box right here, right? This is the side, like that box, and then his ears will obviously go inside of this shape right here, right? Something like that. See here, this is his little things, and then these are the little earphone buds, and then it kind of just goes down behind there like this. He's got the ear coming out here, you see? So this teaches you again how to see things in dimension when you practice. I think sometimes we do too much uh, formal practicing. What that means is you want a face in front of you that you can draw on the paper, but that's not going to help you in and within itself. You have to, because in essence, what you're doing with caricature is this. Okay, you got to free your mind to be yourself. What do you see this person as? You get what I'm saying? And then that is the caricature. You see all the caricatures online, right? And you see them doing all kinds of stuff, right? On their in their drawings, right? See here, put our nose there, right? And come over here. What's that shape right there we're looking at? You know what? I'm gonna do like this here, just like that. Something like that. And we'll look at that dead space there. Make sure we get it right. Right? There we go, right? And then we got his little mouth over here, right? Because he's like having the time of his life listening to this music. Okay, so let's see if we can make up our own little ideas, right? We got flower pots, we got computers, we can make stuff out of. But let's back up here, and actually, I think I'll download that image. Let me move this over here and download it. I want to keep that because it's pretty cool for something later on. Okay, now over here we have a whole bunch of different products, right? So we got some, what we got over here? We got some, hold on. We got some milkshakes. We got some toilet paper, right? All right, look at that, right? We can make some, we can, we can, we're gonna, we're gonna look at the idea of the whole thing, or you know what? We can get his expression first. What is he doing here? Let me see. Let's let's do it this way here. No, I know what I want to do. I want to do something like this, right here, right? Something like this here, and then I'm gonna do this here. Yeah, right. And then we got his nose shape here. I don't know, something. Maybe a tongue shape here. Something. I don't know. Right? maybe maybe he has an ear shape over here, right? And he's just a roll of toilet paper. I don't know. He's put this little ribbon over here. Right? It's a roll. Right? The paper, man. The paper is the paper. And he is mad because he can't find his friend Kleenex. I don't know. I don't know. Something like that. Yeah? Let's see. We just made some we made a toilet paper guy. Let me see here. And this is the last one. Let me see. Let's do, what about this bread right here? This is an easy one. Let's find an expression. Something like this. Just something. A triangle right here. And then we can do a huge smile here. All right. try different ways of making a mouth, right? And this is how you discover your way of doing your caricatures, right? Maybe this is maybe this is some really cool toast, right? A little toasty, right? Some bread here, right? And then I don't know what could be down here. I don't know, some maybe, I don't know. They got a bread head maybe, a little knife for the jelly, right? And maybe they're they're toasting it a little bit, right? Right? You got a little toasty bread there, right? I don't know. I don't know what this is. What's going on here? What what the heck did I do right there? All right, but anyway, that's some toasty bread right there. So we just did one of those. All right, so guys, let's go ahead and get into some caricatures. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to use this same kind of a concept, right? And we're going to draw some heads. One of my favorite ones that I like to do reminds me of the Ren and Stimpy bread hero. Okay, yeah, yeah, that's awesome. That's awesome. Man, that's cool. Hmm. All right. So look, check it out. One of my favorite tricks I like to do, especially for head shapes, right, is I like to use cups. Okay, because or wine glasses, right? I did this technique many years ago, right? I'm gonna try to find one here. This is a good one. All right. And if you see right here, right, I'm gonna try to make this stay over here. Oh no, I didn't mean to do that. Hold on. Can I wait? Wait, cancel. Wait, what's that? Nope. Hold on, guys. I got a technology, right? Hold on. Wait. Wait. Can you just drag it from the? Oh wait, is it drag it from the corner? I can't remember how I did that. Hold on. Wait. Okay, hold on. I don't want this picture this big. Oh wait. Oh, this is what I gotta do. Uh, wait. Cancel. Wait. I'm about to mess something up here. All right, there we go. And then I gotta hit this button here. Wait, that's not the button. This button. Okay, now wait. I didn't mean to do that. No, I didn't mean to do that either. Hold on. Dang it. How do you do? Okay, there it is. There it is. They should just make a clearly defined button to do that with, man. That was nerve wracking. All right, so now I'll go back over here. Now we're back. All right, now here goes our little cups right here. Okay, so this is how we're gonna do it. We're gonna use these wine glasses here. Boom. Cause what they do, they look like a head already. You see, this might be glass, and you can make different ones, right? Make one with a rounder bottom, right? And so then this line right here usually becomes like where I want to put my eyes at. So if I have my desk, I might go here and say, maybe I want to put some eyes like this. You know, maybe I want to put these a little closer together, right? And then you can put your nose shape and let's just say a quick little mouth shape here, right? Oh, right. Let's see. And then you can, you add your ear shapes here. And then you come back and you add the top to it. Normally, I try to use my trapeze shape, right? Or I might use a block, right? Doesn't matter. And then you just put your hair. So let's say you got some hair in here. Let's just make us up a character here, right? It's like that. See? So we got a cool, we got a cool little character right there. This one, we might do a female one. So we can do like this, right? Maybe we add some eyelashes to it, right? Give her a little chin down here, right by the glass, right? And maybe we can add some, like a curly hairdo to it or something. I don't know. Something like that. Maybe some lips, teeth, right? You see? So this is like a really easy way to do it. I mean, if you're really stringed up and you really need to know how to do your head shapes right, like I think these are like a real heaven sent. You can do them like this, and just you can make the bottom of the glass come off any way you want to. You can make a short, fat glass, right? So maybe you got a cup of a king, right? King's cup, right? Right, and then again, the same concept is going to apply because now you got a person with a much bigger neck shape or whatever have you, and then you can create your character from there, right? Just put your ears wherever you want. You can put it here. You can add something to the top to make more forehead. Whichever way you want to do it. Sometimes you might want to encompass the whole head within that shape, so that in here would be kind of where you want to put all your features, like so, right? Something like this, right? So we should be able to again just create all kinds of characters, right? Just based off of that shape. Okay. All right. So I think we're done with the warm up part of the stream. So what I'm gonna do now is we'll pull up some faces here and we'll get started. We're gonna do some interesting faces today. So we're gonna. I guess we can back up here. Um, I like this page right here. Here goes some glasses right here. Actually, these are cool. Look at that. Can I save that? No, I can't. Will it let me? Oh yeah, I will. I will save it. Let's open it up. Let's see what it's got. There you go. You got some. You got some head shapes instantly right here. So if you like to, whatever you, whatever you want to, you know what I mean. I think now what I could do is use that thing that I was talking about, but I guess I don't know how to do it now. Let me see. How did I do that? God dog. So figure out how I did it. Here, hold on. Let me make sure I'm centered. Okay, just let me move my camera over just a bit. Okay, we good right there. Okay. There we go. Do 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 do. All right. So here we got several different types of little drinks, right? So this right here, this might be this is what we call the Blue Lagoon. The Blue Lagoon, right? We're gonna make it a zoo. This is the Blue Lagoon, right? And see right here now, what does his head look like? We could say, what kind of head is that? Could, you could do something like this. Put our little dead space here, and then add some eye shapes here, right? I mean eyebrow shapes here, right? We could add some eyes underneath that, right? And then we can add like a, let me see, right? Got a little nose shape there, right? We can add our little mouth shape. What was that mouth shape that we saw earlier that I just said I had learned how to do? Where was that at? Let me see. Was it on this one? Oh. Yeah, it was this one. So what he did was he just made the bottom of the lip like a peanut, and then it looks like somebody just kind of pouting. You know what I mean? Yeah, I like that one. Okay. And then here you got your whatever your neck would be right here. And then if you want to put the top on your shape, then you let's say I go with a globe shape, right? So here you can see I created a cartoon, right? Yeah, just like that, right? Boop boop, just to make them funny. Okay. All right, let me see here. Then we got this one. This one might be good for somebody. Look at this one. This one kind of wraps around like this. So it's very wrapped around and then it goes up here, right? So it kind of looks like that. Then it has a real skinny neck, right? Look at that. That's a cartoon already. You get what I'm saying? And then what can we do here? We can put our dead space here, right? Maybe add some eyes on this side. And then here goes our brows or whatever. Here goes our nose, right? And this might be somebody with, big round, they're round. Everything in here is kind of round, right? You see? And then we come into the top part, right? Boom. And maybe we're gonna do a one, two, three-sided figure here. And then we can just maybe put some ear shapes here. Maybe we'll just make it up a funny character, right? And then let's see if we can put some hair up here. So we can just do something like this. Boom, 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 right? Just like that. So we got a nice little cartoon right there. Okay. So again, just taking this is one of the things that I initially when I first started doing caricature, I would always do base my characters off of these right here because they were just too easy for me to follow and make up different head shapes, right? So maybe you might want to keep you a list of of drinks by the side of your by the side of your drawing board, right? This doesn't say anything about you. Don't let people judge you because you got pictures of drinks by your board, right? Just because you draw drinks, you drink drinks, right? Right. Look at this one. This is a real tall, thin one, right? Look, and then we could do all kinds of stuff. Look, let's say we got that one. That's a classy glass. That's a lady's glass. So all I got to do is add some ladies' hair to it. You see that? Look. You see? Look at that. And now she's got like this tall, thin, like neck thing going on here, right? Hey, what's going on? What's going on? I didn't see somebody said something on YouTube all of a sudden. Let me see. On to 12. What's going on, man? Thank you. Thank you. All right. See there? Then we got, right, this will be, got some dead space here. What we got? We got, let's do, let's do one like this here. Boom. So here goes her eye. This is that. Boom. Look. There we are. Right. Put some little lips right there. You see that? Just like that. Okay. So you got your. Are y'all feeling this right now? Should we move on to something else, or is this something? I don't know. How we doing with this today? I'm not getting a lot of commentary on that. So I tell you what, then So we're going to go ahead and move on to our actual drawings of faces, right? And then I'll explain some of this stuff as we're going through. Uh, just a real quick thing. I know you guys are looking at how I do my eyes and stuff, and I just want to real quick, like how I do that. I'm gonna show you a little quick trick, right? If you want to draw like better eyes, stop. I think the thing is you got to look at practice doing this. So let's say this is a space, right? And this is a space. Well, you can put an eye on the bottom of this space, and you can put a brow on the top of this space. You see? Look. So if you do this, right? If you do, you can use that shape. Let's say you do this shape. Okay? You can put eyes on the bottom of that shape. You can put eyebrows on the top of that shape, right? If you do this shape, okay? You can put eyes down here, eyebrows up here. You understand what I'm saying? So it's really just connecting shapes to one end or the other of another shape. You know, this is how you exaggerate like expressions. So if you got two pairs of eyes right here, but on this pair of eyes I do like this, and I draw a shape like a big old, like a think of them like light beams. If I do like this and put my eyes up here, right? Right? You see how his eyes look way up there, right? But if I do down, if I go over here, all right, and I got the same eyes, right? But I do a shape like this, watch. Then I put my eyebrows on the top of that shape. You know what I'm saying? Because my eyes are down here. You know what I'm saying? This is the eyebrows. This is the dead space. This is the dead space. Okay. Do you think you ever do you think you could reconcile with a man who slapped and beat you up but apologized? That's a hard that's a question that you know what? I'm gonna tell you what I think about that Um I don't think so. Not like I wouldn't. I could grow to forgive a person, but because you forgive them doesn't necessarily mean you got to be around them. So you got to understand it's not if you take you out of the equation and you make it about let's study this person, right? Um, and maybe let's take the playing field out of a relationship and think of it like you're going to do business with this person or whatever. It doesn't matter what playing field you put this person in. We're trying to just study and predict what they're going to do next and what that thing is going to be in regards to what we're trying to accomplish. And so, with that being said, this person that's a sign of volatility to me, and because of that alone, um, unless this person really showed me a something different to make a different determination from, I would at that time have to. I would not have any in-person dealings with this individual anymore. That's just my personal opinion. Since you asked, I just want to let you know. Okay, now let's get back into this thing here. Okay, we're gonna go to this head shape here. Look at that. That's a different type of glass, right? And look at that. So with this one, what can we do here? Let me see. We can we can make him into a rock and roll star, right? Look, Elvis, man. Oh, 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 oh. Oh, 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 right? Yeah, you see what I'm saying? Yeah, we got the L. Oh, is the Elvis. Mm-hmm. 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 Oh man, cool. Let me see. Mm-hmm. 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 That's his guitar right there, by the way. Okay, and that's right. Yes, Elvis and his guitar. Yo, you got the courtesy. Okay, yeah, that one's pretty cool. All right, so faces, 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 faces. All right, so let's draw some. We got some life reference here. Draw from life reference here. Okay, so let's look at this guy right here. All right, now when we're looking at his head, okay, we could look at this head and say, well, what if we look at this head? What is it? What does it kind of resemble to me, right? And I'm gonna be honest with you. What it looks like to me overall, I'm trying to think of an object. I can see the wine glass thing going on here, right? So it looks like a wine glass with the center offset, or it could be like a giant. It could be like a heart, like maybe like a heart, maybe. Look, look. Let me show you, like a skinny heart. Let's see if it'll work. I don't know. Let's see if I did an overall shape like that. What would happen? So when I'm thinking of when I say a heart, I'm thinking of something like this. Okay, you see what I mean? Something like this, right? And what this little piece is up here. Excuse me. It's got like a little bit of a heart. But what I'm seeing is a little bit of a heart, like a with a square top on it. Maybe a strawberry. No, more of a strawberry. Not a yeah, more of a strawberry head. Maybe a strawberry. Okay, because this right would be somewhere where his hair would be, somewhere around here, right? Uh, uh something like this. And he got right, something like that, and then we can see the ear shape kind of back here. Now this one again, I based completely off of the strawberry. All right, and I'm gonna go with a small amount of dead space here because that's the most important thing here. So he has very prominent eyebrows. What I would do here, I'm gonna do something funny for you. Okay, I'm gonna do a small dead space here, very small. All right, something small, like so small it's like boom, like this small, something like that. And then I'm gonna put these big, huge eyebrows kind of out here, right? You get it? Yeah. And then we'll put the eyes in here like this. Look, you see? And then you got your nose shape here. Let me see. Something like this, that, and that. And then if I want to add this shape here, I can. And then here you got like a, looks like his lip kind of goes over like this, like a over shape first, like that. And then it's like over and up or something, because this is kind of coming down like that, right? And then you have your bottom lip, all right, and then you got your thing here, okay? Boop, boop, boop. Now, I know he has that jaw, this little cheekbone thingy here, You don't need it for likeness purposes. If you want to put it, you just add that onto the strawberry shape. You get what I'm saying? And then you can add this onto the strawberry shape if you want. You get what I'm saying? So it gives that curvature to the face. So it's easier for you to just add like triangles on the to the overall shape first. I think, in order to be able to get a more effective caricature. Okay, so I'm just going to color these guys in here. Okay, just like that. All right. Okay, so we got a strawberry head. So I started out with this shape here with a strawberry, right? And then I used the top. This is the top of the head, right? And so what I did was I started creating shapes out of the top of the head. You get what I'm saying? Putting this hair shape like I wanted it on the strawberry. You just gotta flow with it. Okay? And then once you do that, then I came back with the ears and neck shape to create my character, adding these little shapes on the outside once I was done. Okay? Get what I'm saying? Okay, so let's do our next picture here. Doesn't look like there's any questions about that. Don't forget, guys, also, if you are benefiting from the stream, you want to take a class with me. I do offer classes, arousalworld.com/classes. Go ahead and take a class with us today. I'll show you how to become a caricature artiste. Okay. We also have our Patreon page. Thank you guys. First of all, for those that have already signed up for our Patreon page, if you're not on a higher tier or a paid tier, we do encourage you to go to one of those tiers so that you can actually receive the video. So I do put some videos up, to kind of for those that they want to be there but they really don't have the $5 a month or whatever it is to do a membership with, because it's really only five. We're talking about $5, and most people, let's be honest with you, you have $5 a month. But so for whatever reason you decided to go with a free tier, we encourage you to sign up for our Patreon tier. And then we also have tips. If you wish to tip today, you can tip through Cash App, $Razzle World. If you guys are enjoying the stream today, thank you so much, guys. Let's go ahead and get back into it. All right. Let's pick our next face here. This is some good warm-up practice here. Let's look at this lady here. Okay. Now, when I think of overall shape, sometimes I can think of the overall shape. I like to use the dead space. I don't particularly like to put my hair in as part of the whole shape unless I can it's a shorter haircut. When you get to female hair or people that have a lot of hair, it gets very difficult to kind of morph this shape in with the shape that's going underneath it and keep it as one consistent shape. I guess what I mean is kind of like if I'm here and I want to draw this head shape, I might go like, I have to look at the whole outside of it and say, well, this is the outside of the head. Get what I'm saying? This is the whole outside of the head. And so once I draw the outside, then I'm faced with the task of figuring out, okay, well, once I'm on the outside, this is her braid down here. And then I'm kind of having to judge where everything is in relation to that. So I might go 1, 2, and then 3 over here, right? Put that 3 shape in there. And then I come over here and try to break my shape down, because my hair is going to generally mimic whatever my head is doing. So if my head is a certain shape, my hair is, right? So you can see how that whole shape just kind of came out once we thought about it as a whole idea first. Whichever way works for you. The head shape, to me, if you close your eyes and look at it, you can see that it's this shape here. Look at it. Look at all of it like out here. Forget about the face and look at what's outside of it. And you can see that it almost makes the same shape as the head does. Okay? So that's what we need to be pointing at. Okay? Something like that. Okay? And then we got our shape coming around, going into our hair. Okay. So now from there, we'll just go ahead and put our features in. So we can start anywhere we want. What I do is I try to look for the shapes of in the face. Okay. So with her, she doesn't have a lot of dead space between her eyes. She actually looks pretty monotone. So what I might do is say, okay, this is the shape. This might be the shape that I want. Okay, just like this. Look, this is my dead space. Okay, and then look, here goes her eyebrows, right? And then check it out. There goes the eyes, just like that. See? Okay, and then we got our shape. You know, the furrow between the eyebrow. She has these type of nostrils. So usually that's what I'll shoot for first, and then I want to drop a real deep space in here before I go to the mouth. Right? She has small lips. Right? Just like that. Okay. So real simple. Okay. Okay. All right. So even though it doesn't have every curve of her face, like when you get down here, you might be like, "Oh, you didn't put enough details." Was something I found out yesterday. My Thea was actually here, and she was watching the live stream. So I was asked. She was talking about which one of the pictures looked more like a baby based off of the jawline shape, and how they she chose the shape that was more round versus the shape that was a little bit more rigid, you know? And that made me change my perspective about that because now it's like, do you need when you're drawing a cartoon, you don't need all of the features that you need when you're drawing a, uh, a real person. You get what I'm saying? Those things are different at that point. You know what I'm saying? So you don't need them. All right, let's go to our next one here. More practice, more practice. The more the merrier. Right? What time we got? How long we been streaming? 50 minutes. Okay, so we got about another, I'd say 10 minutes, 10, 15 minutes or so of drawing. I'm not gonna make this stream long today because I'm gonna try to get out of here and go to work early. Try to make a little something for Christmas for the kiddos, right? Yep. All right, let's see here. Let's go to look at that face right there. Portrait study reference. Interesting faces. What about this guy? Okay. All right, so let's go to the back of this one. Let's see what we can come up with. And let me sharpen my pencil up. All right, let me see here. So we're looking at the whole shape of the head. See, this is one of those ideas where I wouldn't do that. You know what I mean? I don't know. Let me see. I would just go with this one. Where would I start this one? Everyone's different, so let me see. I think I might start from here. I think I might do some. I'm gonna do this shape right here. Look, this is gonna be my. This is gonna be my dead space here. This is what I see. Like, what is that? These look like two flags, actually. Right now, look. Once I draw those two flags, watch how I can come from underneath it. All right, and put this in there. Right, and then you got your eyebrows here. Okay, and so this is like a little a little shadow just over the eye right there before it gets here. Right? And then we got something like this here. Wow, that's okay. Hmm. Something like that. Okay. And then we come up here. Man. Okay. Do 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 do. Mm-hmm. All right, let me see here. And then we'll do this other one over here. Okay. Then we'll come back and do the top shape here. So we're on top of this here. And we just come up here and then we got this shape here that looks kind of round. And then it goes into this ear shape here. He has a very weird ear shape. Something like that. I don't know. I wonder should I have made his eyes like maybe should I have made these smaller? Would it have made it? I think it looks like him still, but I'm just wondering what the look would have been like if I would have went with a smaller overall link, you know, so that it doesn't look so. Yeah, you see what I'm saying? So what I did was I went with a smaller shape because the other ones look overly whimsical. So I overdrew or made this, and just that little. Sometimes when you draw the size of something too big, it's just what happens. It's the nature of the beast, right? Okay. Okay. Now, can we turn them into something? I don't know. Like a, I don't know. Yes, we probably could. The his face kind of looks like an iron to me, to be honest with you. If I look, it looks like an upside down iron. All right, like if this is the back part of the iron right here with the holes in it, that's what it looked like to me. Because everything else seems to plug right into that shape right here, except down here you got a square part, but over here, yeah, I'm seeing all of the shapes that I need to get to where I want to get to. So I see the iron here, right? It's like that. Yeah, it's something like this. All right, something like this, like that, that, right? Oh yeah. Mm-hmm. Right. So that would be yeah. That would be yeah. Mm-hmm. iron shape right there. So I saw an iron right there. And the whole idea behind this, guys, is to get you to do this, right? So that you don't try to copy me, like, because yeah, you can draw stuff, like, but it's really what happens is the things that we observe in life really affect how we see the world. So does that? Did I say that? I said that. The what you see, what you pay attention to all the time, affects how you see the world. So drawing and being able to create these concepts out of your mind is really a combination of what you look at in the world. So if you say I can't draw a picture from my mind, that's probably because you don't pay attention to a lot of things like that. You know what I mean? You might be caught up in whatever else you're caught up in. I'm not saying whether it's good or bad, true or false. I'm just saying that your mind is somewhere else when you're out doing things. You're not looking at shapes of buildings or trees or shapes of people's faces and turning their faces into little things and stuff like that. All this stuff counts. When your practice time, your practice time shouldn't be just about drawing a perfect picture of this guy. It should be how can I make something out of this guy? Like let's make like right now we could do something. Let's just go over here. Let's do something fun. Like let's look at let's look at this guy right here. Okay, so we can see this guy right here has he's pretty long, right? So really, what's happening here in this picture? The first thing I notice about this guy is just how long his neck is, right? How long his neck is and how his neck seems to just flow right into this shape that looks almost like this right here. Okay, this is the idea of his picture. Look, if I put some ears on this overall shape, you see, it looks, and then that when I get down here, I just do something like this, right? So now we can see his hair, whatever across here, because this is what he generally looks like. All right, we're not talking about getting it exactly right. Then we go here, right, and then we got this shape. We got this shape here, right? We got I'm gonna do this shape here. Okay, watch. It's like that, like that, right? Okay, you want the overall general idea of your person. Okay, look at the nose down here. It's like this, right? And he's smiling in general. Okay, so this is a simple cartoon to him. You have to figure out, and if you drew him like this, right? Fine, that's cool. It ain't no big deal. That's what you saw him as. You know what I mean? Um, I don't know what else could be. What else could we do with that? We got. I don't know if we could do that with this, but let me see. What if I go like this? Well, what if I start from the top? I want to go down, right, and then into the shoulders, right. So this is what we want to do. This is the overall energy. Find that energy of the face, and then you just go with it. See the energy of the face. Okay, here we can go here and put our nose in just so we can get clarity on where we want to go. Right, 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 and then we can go like this here. That's another way we could do it. I don't know. I mean, I'm just trying something, right? It's just whatever you come up with. You got to learn how to think. So let's do it. Boom. So we're gonna go up from here, and then look at this. I'll go like this. Boom, boom. I know I'm on the top of a shape here, so what I'm gonna do here is I'll come down. Boom, boom. Okay, and then I'll just add this in here like that. Okay, there we go. There we go. Right? Look at that. Okay, now we got this huge forehead shape, right? All of this is his forehead. So we're gonna put just a little bit of hair right here, then back to the forehead line, and a little bit of hair sticking over the side, then back to the forehead line. And then I'll come back and then I can add some hair to my overall shape, right? So we haven't, right? I don't know. I mean, boop, bing, beep, beep, right? You could do something like that if you want to, right? You just play around with it, have some fun, and see what you can come up with. Yes? Okay. That was pretty cool right there. Okay. All right, let's go to our next picture. Any questions so far, guys, on what we're showing you today? Anything is this helping you out a little bit to practice? I hope that you guys are having a great time. Oh, if you're not, I'm sorry about that. I've tried my best. I know I'm not as entertaining as all the other channels, maybe. Let's look at what about this guy here? Let's find an interesting face. You love the wiggly ears? Yes. Yeah, you gotta do something fun. Let's see here. Let's look at let's look at her face, right? Well, not that we already did her face before. Let's find okay. Let's find what about this guy? He's got some braces on. I like it. Okay, so again, what we want to do is we want to look at the overall idea of his head, right? So as I'm looking at the overall idea of his head, I can't help but see an ice cream cone here. He's got the ice cream on top, and everything is kind of coming down to the bottom. Now I know you're looking at these and saying, "Oh, we gotta have these. We gotta have these wide spaces in his face over here." And that doesn't mean that we can't put those things in there once we decide that. Now we can go with ice cream cone, or we can go with like a shuttle of some kind. Like, can you see the shuttle? Like a can you imagine this this air this this rocket, right? Can you imagine this rocket, right? And it did a super like puff of smoke in the back, like a boom, like a right. And this is the rocket. It's in outer space, so I'll put a little door on there. We'll put NASA right here, right, and it's like a little door, right. These are the where the pilots are. They're in there. Hey, right. There's two pilots, right. So and then they're in outer space. So here's the moon, right over here. Some stars, right. I'm trying to get visual for you. Hey, hey, what's going on? Brazil is in the house. Where my glasses at? I can't see. What? Oh Lord. Oh, here they go. Okay. You know I'm old. I'm looking for my glasses and they're on my face. Hold on a second, guys. All right, there we go. Sorry about that, guys. All right. And guys, don't forget, man, if you could help me hit my goal on TikTok, man, super awesome. Tips are appreciated. Greetings directly from Brazil. You are my role model in my classes. My students adore you and follow you. Are you serious? No way. Are you really serious? I got no way. That just made me feel. First of all, I'm going to say a shout out to all your students in Brazil. How are you guys? And I'm going to tell you what, that means a lot. Like, because I don't really consider myself, I don't know, followable material. And I'm just so humble. I'm so grateful that you guys are able to receive from the art lessons and stuff, man. Thank you so much. Man, I really appreciate you letting me know about that. Alameda Art Studios. Do you guys have any like pictures or anything that you like? Maybe a session where you're doing some pictures from the videos or anything like that? I'd love for you to share that with me. Maybe I could put them on my Facebook page or share them on our channel. Yeah. So you can send them to me through you can send them through me through email, right? And I'll get them from there. Okay. Cool, cool. Awesome, awesome, man. That is so crazy. All right. And that was awesome. Okay. So let's see here. Oh, let's get back to this guy over here. So y'all trying to see where am I going with this idea. All right, so can you guys see the ship, right? So let's erase all the stuff that's going on inside of the ship, right? The NASA signs. I'm thinking you see what I'm talking about now, right? So look, what I just showed you was how to draw a guy with an afro. Think of it as a spaceship with a giant poof, a poof burst, like a poof, right? His poof burst is a little squarer, all right? So it's a little square on this side, but it doesn't matter, right? Then look, all we gotta do is put some ears here and a neck shape. Look, now we got his head. Now look at this. Now look at this. All we're doing here, boom, boom, right? Boom, 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 right? And see that? You see? And go like this, all right? We got this shape here, right? And then we got this shape here at the bottom here. So we're going to do something like this. Boom, 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 boom. Right? Those are my drawing sounds. Okay? And then look, we'll put some, like when I draw teeth, I don't think of teeth as teeth, right? I never do. But you can find a way that works for you. I don't know. But I like to do clouds. So I'll do like this, like think about this. See the clouds? You put some birds, right? See? Two big clouds, three little clouds, three little clouds, right? Two big clouds, three little clouds, three little clouds. And then you put your braces on there. I just put little rectangles on there, and then I'll use my wire to be the crosses in between them, right? And then down here, you do the same thing. Two big clouds, three little clouds, three little clouds. See? So all of this is really just colored in, right? So he's got like, ding, right? Just like that. Boom. Okay? You see? So we just, and then up here, right, what we'll do is we'll round this off. See how we rounded it off to give him the round forehead? So we took the poof off, right? he's in the clouds, man. That's right. Y'all like those teeth right there, right? Yeah, you can't miss with those teeth, man. That's how I look at teeth. Cause teeth. One day I just got an epiphany. I was outside. I was in my car one day, and I was drifting off to sleep. I was at work. I take a break in the middle. Sometimes I've been drawing, and as I was drifting off, I saw the clouds, and I said, oh snap! I said those clouds, they look like somebody's teeth, and I was like, no, and I had to look at it again. Then I took a picture of it, and then hey, right on. Somebody gave me a man. Thank you. I got a mustache. Man, look here. I don't know who just gave me that. Who just sent me a mustache? Who sent me a mustache? Somebody just sent me a mustache. Oh, thank you, Sus Scribbles. Thank you, Sus Scribbles. I got a mustache, man. Thank you. Man, I appreciate you. Thank you. got a mustache to go with my teeth now. Let's see. Look at that. One, two teeth. And I'm gonna tell you what else you can do with teeth. Y'all ready for this? Are you ready for this? Okay. Anytime you draw like a head or something like that, right? I thought about. Let me see if I can find it in my. Is it? Did I put it in this book right here? Hold on. Let me see. I might have wrote it down here too. I practice, I practice, I practice, I practice. More I practice. Bodies. I don't think I put it in here. I think I. Hold on. Let me see. Do I have it here? Let me look. Even anyway, I can still redraw it, but I was just trying to figure out what the heck I. Ah, here. Okay, look. So, this is another way you can think of the head, right? So, what you do when you do, and then we'll go back to the teeth thing in a minute. But this is all again about like how well you associate things, man. Hold on, let me go back here. Hold on. Let me take this out of here. All right, hold on. So, what happens is, I think of when you draw a face, right? If you think of this line here in the middle, you see these artists always doing this when they start a picture, right? Okay. So, and then what happens is where this line intersects at, this is where you'll always generally find your eye shape, right? So, common sense, there's one shape up top and one shape on the bottom, whatever that shape may be. Okay? Could be round, right? And this, usually I find the three-sided figures work up top very well. You can even round the top of this off, right? But still count it as one side. You get what I mean? Now, the teeth thing. So this is how we're going to connect the teeth to this, okay? By drawing this line right here, okay? What I do is I think of the line, just watch what I draw. Okay? Are you ready? You see that? Now, those are two front teeth. If I take two front teeth, right? Right? Because if I do it like a mouth, it looked like somebody's mouth, their teeth are sticking out of their mouth. Does that make sense? Okay. But also, this is an easy way to do head shapes. Draw the teeth and then put a shape. Draw the line, draw round teeth, put a forehead shape. Right? Draw the line, put your teeth going this way. Don't matter. Then you put a forehead shape. You see? So you can come down and make it a 3D figure like that. You see what I'm saying? No matter which way you go, you can. This was revealed to me by the caricature gods, right? Let me see here. Okay. Teaching style is exceptional. Let's say I recreate it, and I'll tell you. I'll bring art therapy to children with cancer. I bring art therapy to children with cancer and in critical social situations. Whoa. Okay, your video lessons animate them because they are funny caricatures and they pay close attention to each of your strokes. What? It's as if they were watching a famous cartoon, except with you, they can interact. Man, that is crazy. I'm taking a picture of this. I'm taking a picture of your. Oh, I don't even have a phone to take. I hope this thing saves the comments. I need that. I need this comment. I'm using that. But that's awesome, man. Wow. Okay. Such an awesome thing right there. Okay. Did y'all check that out? So I'm on TikTok as well. So but TikTok is not on here, so I have to go down here and look at the comments and stuff. But um she's so Miss I think well Alameda Art Studio has Uh, wow, therapy. She does therapy, or they do therapy for art. It's art therapy to children with cancer and that are in critical social situations. And the videos animate them because they are funny pictures and they pay close attention. Wow, that is something else, man. That's oh no. Yeah, because I couldn't do it at the same. I can't project that screen over here. It sucks. But you know, I'm also streaming on YouTube, so if either one, so all right. So when you do, so let's try this on another on a situation. So watch this. Okay, if you go here, wait, let's go. Let's just pick a face. Let me make this smaller here. Okay, and let's go to any face. Let's just go to. Let's go to. I'm trying to find one that's. It's going to be an easy one to demonstrate. Okay, something that's nice and forward facing, but happy. Okay, let's look at the little girl. Okay, now if I take the little girl, watch this, and I draw a line through her eyes. That's this line. Watch, her teeth are round. So don't think of a round set of teeth. Don't think of a round jawline. Think of a round set of teeth, and then you put a split in between your teeth. All right, in the middle. All right. Everybody has a split. So now what happens is, look where her eyes are here, right? Okay, and then we have this shape here going inside of that shape, right? And you can see her eyes are looking up here. See her nose shape here? Okay, and then you see her mouth shape here, right? Look at the ear shape. You see? Then you come back and you add your shape to the top. Watch. Three-side figure. You see? So, teeth or bottom shape, three-sided figure. Three sides. So it can be 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, right? 1, 2, 3. Either one of, however you choose to formulate the head shape, because it ain't but so many things you can do with a head shape. Does that make sense? So now, once we get here, watch. All I'm doing is adding the hair to the picture. Look, just like that. Okay, and then you add your eyelashes. Right? So you see how you can do, if you change what you're trying to do, and if you change it into something that you understand, not that I understand. Everything here looks great, but that's because it translates to me. But you might do this and be like, I just don't get it. What is he looking at? Is Rouser insane? Was he talking about this person's head looks like a why does teeth look like a clouds? Like how was I supposed to put that together? Well, the thing is that you don't have to use what I use. I'm just giving you a suggestion that made it easier for me. You know what I mean? Oh, thank you so much, Aqua. Thank you. I appreciate you. All right. Oh, real quick, guys. Also, if you want to take a class with me, I do classes. So I'm an online art teacher. I teach your class. I teach an art class. rouserworld.com/classes. You can take a live class with me through Zoom, so you guys can check that out right there. And then also, guys, don't forget to become a member of our Patreon. We are would love to have you as a member of our Patreon family. There you'll be able to see not only some exclusive drawing videos where I share with you ideas and concepts on the level that I'm showing you today. I also have some behind the scenes stuff, so you'll be able to see just what it's like in my inner life, being an artist, juggling that juggling being an artist along with having small children and being a dad that's up in age. That might be kind of explain why I got kind of a uncle dad vibe thing going on. I know I'm not like cool a young guy no more. Dang it. But I don't think I want to ever be young again for all intents and purposes. If I could go back and have the same mentality, yes, but not just to go back and be young. That would be torture, right? So you can go and check out our Patreon page at patreon.com/arousal world. Don't forget to sign up. Check it out. We're vintage cool. That's right. All right. And then finally, guys, our tips are not only appreciated, but mandatory. Nah, I'm messing with you. But if you guys feel like you're benefiting from the stream today, I showed you something that made a light bulb go off in your head, and you want to buy me a cup of coffee because of that. Hey, man, thanks a lot. Tips are appreciated. Okay? So let's go back and get back into our lesson, okay, for today. We're man. So this whole concept, everything that I'm showing you today, I know it seems like potluck, like I'm going all over the place, but I'm really not. The one major concept here, I'm practicing with this morning is this. This is it's called creativity. Two words: creativity and association. Associations breed creativity. Let me say it again. Association breeds creativity. Would you make that powerful connection between two things, peanut butter and chocolate, right? You get Reese's, right? You get, you know what I'm saying? You get something special, okay? And people will look at you draw and they are going to be thinking about, well, what is this person thinking about? But I guarantee you, every single last artist, every single last musician, they all have an association method. The best ones have association methods in their head that they just know, and when they implement that for every drawing. So this is so powerful. This teeth thing is so powerful because I can do all kinds of exaggerations now. Let's say I'm doing her face. Now, in regular life, her face looks like this, right? Look. She has kind of a pointy teeth thing going on with her ears. But if I want to exaggerate that, right? Maybe I want to exaggerate her forehead. Okay. But because I know what shapes I got pointy teeth right here with the head. But now I got this, what I call a trapeze shape, right? Another way of looking at that might be a car windshield, right? I got a car windshield up here, so I can make this taller, right? So now when I draw her eyebrows here, and her nose, right? And then look, I could do like this. I could go. She has quite a bit of dead space, so I'm gonna do like this, right? Okay, look, okay, and we'll do some hearts down here, okay? Okay, now her hair is up here, right? Because I chose to make that shape bigger. This is what caricatures are doing essentially. It's just exaggerating relationships between things. But this is a powerful tool for me. I never miss on faces because of this shape right here. Um, Even if I'm drawing a three-quarter face, right? Oh no, let me go back here. Can I wait? Can I get this guy's face bigger? Yeah. Okay. Like let's look at his face, right? So check it out. All right, here we go. You ready? All right. Line right through the eyes. Boom, boom, boom. For the shape of his teeth are gonna go. So his teeth are gonna basically peak about right here. So what I'm doing is I'm drawing the T shape to go toward my finger. That's a good practice. Do this on your paper when you draw. Where you want things to go, that's how I draw without pencils a lot or without erasing a lot. Usually when I'm drawing live, I never use pencils. I just go with my marker. But this is for instructional purposes. Okay? But you want to put your finger gives you a marker where you want to go. And then over here, watch. I'm going here again. So now look what my hand is. Okay? Look at my ear shape over here. Right? And my neck shape coming down here. These are my teeth. This is the middle of my teeth right here. If you just picture them as big, long, sharp, pointy teeth. Right? Make sense? Okay. Then watch this. Now we go to the top shape. Remember I said we got a three-sided shape. Okay? So I don't care what you want to do is you want to do this, right? You just come from the side, right? 1, right? 2, 3. Okay? Now, what we're going to do here with that three-sided shape, right? We come over, we know his eyes are here. Everything, his eyes and everything are here. So we know that this now becomes a space for where we want to put his headband. And then here, right? Right? Becomes where I want to put my hairline, right? Stuff like that. So you see how I made the shape go like, yeah. And now if you want to add all these little curves, then you go to the spots where they belong. But you can see the line goes here, right? So if this is, there's going to be a lot of heavy interaction between the eyes and the eyebrows here. So just have a big, so we want to go right above it and connect to it, right? So a circle right, a triangle right above connects to it. A triangle right below connects back to it. So you can see it gives the face that side that you want. Okay. And then you just come back and you add your hair to the shape. You want to add some more over here, add a triangle. Okay, this adds all of the dimensions to your face that you want. See? So get the basic shape first, or you can just leave that shape out altogether. You really don't need this to make this person look like him. Okay, so now we'll come over here and we'll do like he has a triangle shapes here, triangle shapes here. So this is pretty much what's going on with this guy. He's looking that way, right? And he's got his nose coming down here, right? And then he's got this shape here, okay? And then he's got a shape coming down, which really this kind of goes outside of the mouth. It kind of does like this a little bit to give him a little, but we don't need to do that. We'll just keep it simple. All right, boom, boom, all right, boom, boom, all right, and then we'll just put our, you see? And then we'll just color this all in. Okay, so you got to be, again, thinking about it, and you could leave it like this too if you want, and just go with it. Because again, that's not going to kill the likeness of the picture. I don't think so anyway. Yeah. Okay. All right. So let's go to our next face. Now we're just going to kind of just go through some faces together. I'm done with all the technique teaching. Right. You guys got enough techniques for today. Did any of these techniques help you guys today? Were you guys helped by what I showed you today? Right. I hope that you were. I'm going to go ahead and draw this last picture here. And then we're going to get into our word of the day. Yeah. Okay, I've been here an hour and a half, so yes, about that time. All right, so here we go. Let's just do this here. Boom. Boom. Here we go. All right. Later. Boom. Boom. Yeah, boom. Boom. All right. Boom. 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 I don't know. I might have made those too close together. I don't know. Let me see. The round shape here. Yeah. The lips here. Yeah. Uh-huh. Uh-huh. Mm-hmm. Three-sided figure. One, two, three. Okay. And I can just bring that side down if I want. The hair out. Rip. All right. Bring this on up. I like to go up with my hair into the hair shape. It just makes you be able to see things easier. Sometimes you got to do that. Right. Boop. 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 Okay. And next shape here. Right. Okay. And then we'll just kind of shadow these in here. Okay. A little bit of shadow. Right. Okay. Okay. I think that's it for this one. Boom. Boom. Okay. So, guys, let's go ahead and we're going to get into our word of the day. Okay. So, if you guys will give me just a moment here. Hey, Cherish, what's going on? What's going on? What's going on, Cherish? Where you been? Where you been, my friend? How was your Thanksgiving? I know you sent me a happy Thanksgiving. I responded back. Cherish is my top special shout out to Cherish, first of all. Cherish is my top tier Patreon. And she is not just an awesome person, but just been invaluable to me over the years. For as much as she thinks I helped her, she helped me that much, so probably more. So I'm a and I'm putting some modesty on that, you know. But anyway, thanks for coming out, Cherish. Awesome. Okay. All right. So what we're gonna do now, again, guys, is we're gonna go into our word of the day. We are about to close out the stream, the drawing section of the stream, but we will. I will be uploading parts of this session here for on YouTube, also TikTok. I'll make it into shorts or something like that for you because it's quite a bit of information. So we'll go ahead and So real quickly, let me uh, let me go over here. Okay, hold on one sec, and I'm gonna go to my word of the day. Okay, so hold on. Excuse me, guys. Okay, so we're gonna go ahead, guys, and we're gonna change this music up real quick, and then from there we'll. All right. Okay, guys. So again, I want to thank you for coming out to the stream today. It was super awesome to have you out here today. I am grateful for every tip, uh, every laugh, everybody that it's been explained that I was once really a good thing. In fact, I got to tell Cherish if you'll go back and look at it. So actually Alameda Art Studio. If you go back and look at that comment, Cherish, where they was talking about the kids over in Brazil, and that I didn't know that a teacher was actually sharing this with her students that are meeting, deal with things such as cancer and just in critical social situations is what she said. There are a lot of trauma, maybe I can imagine a lot of mental trauma and stuff like that. And that they watch the videos, you watch, the stream and videos, and they like to pay attention to it because it helps them to. And so I just thought that was really cool. And so super awesome. I'm grateful for that. All right, so today, guys, I want to share a quick word of the day. After every stream, I like to share a word with you to encourage you before you leave. We all are going through things in this life, and we're all going to continue to go through things in this life. And as I said before, in the tone of this stream, everything that I showed you today, it wasn't by happenstance. Okay, it was targeted, because today we talked about we talked about we talked about creativity, right, and then we talked about associations. Okay, and basically we can just put renewing of the mind. Okay, drawing from a different place, drawing from, and when I mean drawing from, I mean like you draw water out of a well, you draw electricity from an electricity power plant, right? Well, you draw ideas from your mind, you pull them out, you extract them. When I say draw from, I mean extract information from. Okay, but in order to extract that information from, there must be information in the place where you're going to extract it from, and it must be accurate information. Okay, so what we're going to do in this word of the day today, we're going to talk about hearts, your heart, okay, and habits. Now, yes, we'll tie this all in together as we get toward the end of the word of the day. Okay, so this is I'm a big writer, so I wrote this for you today. As you know, I was reading Colossians 2 and 3 today, and something really hit me. Paul, in that book, he speaks about being free from rules and living a new life in Christ. Yeah, the more I read it, the more it made sense to me, like in this very, very, very practical way. There's a big difference between forcing yourself to live right and living right because your heart has changed. Listen, there's a big difference between forcing yourself to live right and living right because your heart has changed. So, what I'm saying is there a lot of morally correct people in the world, right? Because they don't jaywalk, or they go to church every other day, but they never had a heart change, right? Like as in to be able, so they feel like they're in torture. They're mad because they really don't want to be law-abiding citizens. They really don't want to participate in the program. They don't want to participate in anything, but it's because they're forcing themselves to conform. And then I believe that in that forcing yourself to conform to something that you don't want to do, and you're doing it every day, it's like having a job that really you don't like and you got to go to for the rest of your life, right? Instead of doing it that way, or they keep on doing that way instead of having the heart change. It says, you see, when you force a habit, it's like trying to bend a piece of metal the wrong way, right? So you've ever had a piece of metal, have you ever seen something, let's say that piece of metal is forged to be like this. So I can take my hands and put them here, and I can bend this metal to where it's all the way straight. But then eventually it's just going to snap back down into this position here, because that's the way that it was forged. The other way was being forced, and then it's going to go back to the way that it was forged. But when your thinking changes, your heart is transformed. Living for God becomes natural, and it becomes a part of who you are. Okay? These concepts that I showed you today were simple analogies of heart changes. mind changes. When I told you use teeth instead of instead of calling it a face, call it teeth. Instead of calling it that, call it what you see it as, how you interpret it. Stop trying to force yourself to learn anatomy when you're not interested in anatomy, is what I'm telling you. You want to be an artist, you want to draw faces, but you don't like anatomy. You don't really want to study anatomy and all that. You just want to know how to draw a face. Okay, well, why are you studying anatomy for? You're forcing yourself you're forcing your brain to think in a way in which is uncomfortable for it to receive the information. How about just try an easier route? How about pay attention to some things around you and the things that you use every day, right? And use that in your drawings. You're familiar with those things already, right? Warren Buffett said he's an investor. Everybody knows who he is. One of the most prolific investors of our time. I was listening to him talk one time and he said, if you're going to invest in something, invest in invest in a stock that you're knowledgeable about. Don't be trying to play the stock market because you're not going to win. But he said, look what you buy in your own house. Do you buy diapers? Do you buy milk? Do you buy toothpaste? What brand of toothpaste is that? This is where you invest because you have knowledge of where you're putting your money at. So your risk of return, your return, your not risk, but your probability of return goes up much greater, right? Your drawings come out much greater when you draw from a place of this association that we're talking about. This is a heart transformation. Once it's transformed, right, like I told you, I found out about this shape. I use it all the time, and I don't think about it. It's just how I roll, right? Paul says in Colossians, the book of Colossians 2:22-23, that all those rules, don't handle, don't taste, don't touch, these things all sound wise in the Bible, right? And I'm going to go over here. I'm going to get my book out here. Excuse me. And I read that this morning. Here. It's Colossians chapter 2, verse 20, if you want to read it along with me. But there's a lot of rules in this world. Like these are rules. So in the world, people might tell you, or, outside people might tell you, don't handle this, right? Don't taste this, right? Don't touch this, right? These things sound like they're wise, but it says they don't actually give power over sin. And why don't they give power over sin? And it says, I wrote here, because true power isn't in a ritual. True power is in a relationship. Again, the other way, you're forcing yourself, right? One way you're forcing yourself. The other way, you're building a relationship. When you use associations, you build relationships between you and the thing you're associating with. When you force it because you saw me do it and you try to make that your reality and it don't work for you because that's not how you see the world, you get what I'm saying? It's going to be a problem there. You can deny yourself 1,000 things. You can show up to church every time the door opens. But if your heart hasn't changed, nothing is going to change. In Colossians 3, verses 1 and 2, it says, set your hearts on things above. Set your minds on things above. Right? Notice that God starts out with the heart and the mind. Because once those change, your life will follow. Again, look at it again. The heart and the mind being one, the mind, the processing part of the human being. Once these things change, it's going to once I learned this, it forever affected the way that I saw the face. When I did the clouds in the teeth and I had that epiphany in my car that day, it was just now all of a sudden, that's just what I see when I look at people's teeth. You get it? I formed a relationship with this idea. And now I don't force myself to do it. I just draw that instinctually when I get to the situation that I need, where I need it. So I wrote down here, guys, a couple of things I want to share with you. Okay? So if you have a pencil or whatever you want to write them down, you can. Number one is that true power isn't in the act. It's in the heart behind the act. Listen, true power, you're not a good person just because you did something. You don't even have a good heart just because you did something nice. It's the heart behind the act. It is what you were thinking in your mind when you did it. That's where the power comes from, within. That's the first thing I want to share with you. Number two thing I want to share with you is anything you touch with the wrong heart can become sin. It can weigh you down. It can cause you to go the wrong way. Anything you touch again with the wrong heart becomes sin. So objects don't sin, right? Food doesn't sin. Social media doesn't sin. Listen, people sin. People sin, right? People can take what God meant for good and use it for evil. Money is what a lot of times people do this with, right? Instead of money being a way for us to communicate and bring us together, right? Because that's really all. It's a reason that we get up in the morning a lot of the times because we need money to pay our bills and stuff like that. I get that, okay? But in the hands of the wrong person, right? Their perspective of that this is a what's the word we're looking? This is an economy, and an economy means that money flows around. There's enough for everybody. It's going to go. It's going to come. You get what I'm saying? And we need it, and we don't need as much as we think we need. We don't have to buy everything we need just because of the current. We don't need to make all the currency come to us, right? Instead of going to play other people that need that currency. You get what I'm saying? But it's all about the heart. Anything you touch with the wrong heart can become a sin in your life. Even if that thing is a good thing, it can become a sin in your life. Number three, Christ didn't come to give us new rules. He came to give us a new nature. I didn't come here to give you a lot of rules about drawing. Okay? But I want to put within you a new nature about drawing. You can't control what somebody else likes. Stop trying to shoot for that. It's an unrealistic target because you don't even know what you like. If you're asking a question, if you're doing that, you don't know what you like. The Bible says to know thyself, study yourself, right? You got to know who you are so you can relate to other people. What is it to be a human being? The nature of us. What is it to be? What are my tendencies? What are my shortcomings? What am I strong at? How do I see this? How do I see that? What can I turn that into? Most people don't like puzzles and games of that nature because puzzles force your mind to think outside of boxes. So my wife, this is a trick. My wife actually got me more into this because all of these things help me when I'm drawing because I'm sitting here and I'm constantly, and it makes it fun to draw now because now I'm sitting here trying to figure out what this thing looks like to me. And then I bust out laughing sometimes at some of the stuff I come up with. The more outrageous, the better it sticks, right? But Christ didn't come to give us new rules. He came to give us a new nature. In Colossians 3:10 it says, "Put on the new self, which is being renewed in the knowledge in the image of its creator." Okay? That's not behavior modification. This is rather a renovation of the heart. And this is the part that stood out to me the most. It said, "Don't let the world shame you for what you're not doing. Don't let people judge your walk because you're not performing in the way that they expect." Paul says in Colossians 2:16, "Do not let anyone judge you." Why is that? Well, because the change God wants in us is inside out, not outside in. So the encouragement for today is simple. Stay close to Christ. Let him shape the way you think, and the life he wants for you will follow naturally. Listen, let him shape the way you think, all right, about drawing, about life, right? And the life he wants for you will follow you naturally. You won't have to force it to happen. Rules can't change the heart, guys, but Christ can change a heart. And the heart, guys, will change your life. And finishing up, I like to connect everything back to art. So I want you to just really hear this part. I'm not going to break it down. I feel like I already did that when I wrote this down. But I want you to really listen to it. Art connection. This is the art connection that your style, the style you draw with, it comes from your heart. And you know, this whole thing here reminds me a lot of art. When you're learning to draw, you can try to force yourself to draw like somebody else. You can study their lines, their shapes, their shading. You can copy their style for hours. But sometimes something inside of you just doesn't agree with it. Something doesn't connect. And no matter how hard you try, it feels like you can't reproduce what they do with the accuracy that you want. And then you get discouraged. But here's the truth. Art doesn't come from imitation. Art comes from identity. Just like in Colossians, rules alone don't change your heart. Trying to follow someone else's rules can't create your voice. And real growth happens when you understand that what you create comes from you, from your experiences, your eyes, and your understanding. When I teach caricature and I tell you to associate shapes, like seeing a head as a triangle or a nose as a circle, or whatever it reminds you of, that's not about copying me. That's not a rule. Rather, it's an invitation. I'm asking you to draw from how you see the world. Because what you notice, what you connect with, what a shape reminds you of, that's a heart thing. Listen, what you notice, what you connect with, and what a shape reminds you of is an indication of the state of your heart. You can hear a song, for instance, and it can bring back bad memories. But you can hear another song and it makes you have happy memories. Does that make sense? And just like your walk with Christ, art starts to flow naturally when you stop forcing yourself to be somebody else and start creating from who God made you to be. Whether in faith or in art, don't force it. Let it flow from a transformed heart. That's where the real beauty happens at. That's where the real artwork happens at. So, guys, that's our word of the day. Creativity, associations, rules. Don't be trying to be somebody else that you're not. What you associate with, what captivates your attention, what you do every day, what you draw every day is an indication of the state of your heart. And that's it. So there might be someone here today that doesn't have a relationship with Christ. And all this stuff right here is going in one ear and out the other. And I totally get it. Because I understand what it's like to be drawing the same thing over and over again, right? With no understanding of what you're doing. So you struggle every time you get next to a drawing board because you refuse to think differently. Or you're listening to the wrong information. You're not listening to the word of God. You don't believe that you have purpose. You know what I'm saying? You don't believe that you have the mental. Sometimes you might shut down in the middle. You might see something going on that you got to do, and you get so overwhelmed with the end result of it that you miss the little steps in between, all the little blessings in between before you get to the end. All of that kind of stuff. But today I wanted to extend an invitation to you. If you want to make Christ the Lord of your life, you want a personal relationship with Him where He can begin to transform and heal your heart and open your eyes so that you can see. You can stop being so stressed out. Maybe you can see some of the things around you and pay attention to some of the shapes around you and pay attention to some of the people around you and pay attention to those that need help and those that are in need and not always focusing so much on everything I got to do and I got to do. It's a complete transformation of the heart. He can take all of that worry, all that anxiety, all that stuff. He can take that away because this is what He did for me. And as I began to become more comfortable with Harry, that's me. My name's Harry, by the way. But as I became more comfortable with Harry, and I stopped trying to be like who I let me, and I'm gonna go with this. Excuse me. I'm gonna tell you what I did one time, and then I'm gonna let y'all go. When I was young, I always had this fascination with when I was young, I had a fascination with uh, thug life, right? I was not in thug life. I was actually very square. I was so square that anybody that seen me even portray to act like that started laughing at me. But inside, it seemed like those guys had so much respect, and everybody feared them all the time. I just felt like I didn't have no power in my life. Like I didn't, you know what I mean? I, you know, I never carried a gun. I never shot nobody. I ain't never robbed nobody. I ain't never done none of this kind of stuff. But for some reason inside of me, I felt like if I could be like those guys, then I would finally get the respect that I deserve. So I spent a majority of my young years walking around looking like a fool, right? Trying to be something where all those guys now are dead and gone, right? They're either in jail or in the cemetery. Every last one of them that I put to try to mimic them, all the cool guys in high school, the ones that was walking around back in the day, they used to have They used to have the box top haircuts and the big gold chains, Slick Rick, that kind of stuff. That's what they look like. They were drug dealers. They was this, and all the girls at school liked them, and I just wanted to be like them guys. And who would have known if you fast forward as I started accepting who I was just like, I see. In fact, today, I won't even associate with somebody that does any of those things. In fact, I don't see any reason to it. No rhyme, no logic, no anything to that particular lifestyle. In fact, I'm cool being just a regular guy, a regular dad, a regular husband, a regular uncle, with a regular house and a regular car. Right? I'm happy. You know what I'm saying? Because God has taken all those things, though, that worry, that stress, and that anxiety off me. You know what I mean? And this is what Christ can do for you. So if you want today, I can pray with you, whoever it is, I can pray for you. You know what I mean? Anything that you're going through. First of all, I lift that young lady, or man, I don't know who it was that asked me a question about something that sounded like a domestic violence situation. And I pray that God places hands on that situation and that He, you know, protect that person from that harm, that He renews the minds of the people, both people involved in that situation. In Jesus' name, I just wanted to pray for you real quick. So, guys, I'm going to go ahead and get out of here. It doesn't look okay, like anybody's asking for prayer or anything like that. I'll be glad to pray with you. Everybody's okay. All right. So, guys, I'm going to go ahead and get out of here. Thank you so much for coming out to the stream today. If you did tip or whatever, thank you so much. Also, don't forget it, guys, about the classes. So if you want to take a class with me, don't forget to go. You can check us out at rouserworld.com/classes. We also do our Patreon page. So I'm just going to give you this information here real quick before I sign off and get out of here. And then we have our tips here, guys. If you wish to tip, you can tip through Cash App, $Browser World. Okay? So thanks a lot, guys. Certainly appreciate you. God bless you. Enjoy the rest of your week. I'll be streaming more frequently. I told you throughout the rest of this year, I'm going to finish out strong with a lot of streams. Okay, so we want to start the new year off right, right? We want to become new people, renewed in our thinking, right? And that's what we're going to do. So you guys have a blessed one, and I'll see you guys next time. All right, guys. You guys have a best one.